All right, Matt Stepp from Dave Campbell's Texas High School football. We're talking 14-6A. That's the spring. That's the Aldine schools. They were chomping at the bit last year. They're like, "Uh-oh, Matt Meekins, he retired, man, or he's moved on. We can go get Westfield." They didn't get Westfield. They let Westfield still win the district. Westfield seems like they're going to be Westfield in this district. Is that the same for 2025?
Yeah, I actually think Westfield's got a chance to be better this year. They bring back 7 starters on both sides of the ball. They've got some experience coming back. I think they've got a quarterback that they like in Cameron Hubbard to take over. They've got some playmakers, Emmanuel Yancey on the outside. And you know Westfield's always going to play tough defense with that defensive end, DeMarcus Marks, Colby Foster, Davon Smith, Antonio Underwood. Look, Westfield's going to have dudes on the defensive side of the ball. They always play tough defense. It's a hallmark of Westfield football for a long time, and I think we're going to see it again. I still think, although the gap may have closed a little bit with some of the Aldine schools, I think Westfield's still the class of 14-6A, and I think having Coach Black having a full year now, he took over in July. It was really still Coach Meekins' program. I think with the full offseason, Coach Black's been able to, he's made some new hires. He hired Averion Hurts as an offensive coordinator. That's Jalen Hurts' older brother that played at Channelview as well. He was a good high school player in his own right as the offensive coordinator. So I think they're putting their own spin on things, but they've got the experience back, and they've got that Westfield, that nasty defense that's a hallmark of Mustang football. So I still think they're the king of the crop, the king of the hill, and cream of the crop, king of the hill in 14-6.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Hey, the next team I want to talk about didn't even make the playoffs last year, but I'm skipping down to them because they had two of the best players in the district with Townsend and Hines. But Decaney, it just seemed like they couldn't get right, and they couldn't find a way into that playoff spot. Do you think somehow they can turn this thing around and make it to the postseason, or is it more doom and gloom?
I think they're going to get in this year. I think primarily because I think Spring is going to take a step back. Spring took one of those playoff spots last year. Decaney's got some really good young talent. C.J. Chiser, the sophomore running back, is a sensational player. He's tearing it up on the track right now. He saw time as a freshman last year and really impressed. They've got another sophomore defensive lineman that really impressed last year, JV and Bradford. So they've got dudes who can play. And then also getting running back, they're going to have two of the best running backs in the district. Two Division I guys. Samaritan Cunningham missed all of last year. He got hurt in week 1, missed the entire season. So getting him and Chiser in the backfield together is going to be huge. And they've got a quarterback back. Their quarterback, David Emerson, is back as well. So I think Decaney's got the pieces to be a good team. Now, they're going to be young, especially in the trenches on the offensive line. But their JV was successful last year. They were 7-3 at that level. So I do think Decaney gets back in the playoffs. I don't think they're ready to challenge Westfield. I think the team ready to challenge Westfield right now is Aldine Nimitz.
Okay.
I think Cornelius Harmon's ball club has been knocking on the door. They've been a consistent playoff team. They were 7-4 last year. They got 15 starters back, 33 lettermen. They are ready to take the next step. Their wide receiver, Malachi Augustus, hauled in 14 touchdown passes last year. And their quarterback, Albert Brown, was the district offensive MVP. Those two guys leading a dynamic offense that's got 9 starters back. They are going to be explosive, and they're going to be dangerous. I think Aldine Nimitz, for my money, with those 33 lettermen returning, plus their JV was 6-4 last year. So they've got help coming from that group as well. Aldine Nimitz is going to have the numbers to compete with Westfield on even terms. I'll give Westfield the nod because you got to, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo! But I think you got to give the edge to Westfield. But I think Nimitz is knocking on the door. I also think Aldine Davis is going to be right there in the mix. They got in the playoffs last year, and in the second year under Kelvin Chatham, they've got 7 starters back on both sides of the ball, and I think they're going to be even more dangerous than they were a year ago. Nicholas Tramble, their running back, had 10 touchdown runs last year. They've got a wide receiver, and the Lewis kid, Tyler Lewis, who's really good. This is the Aldine Davis team that kind of surprised everyone by making the playoffs. I think they were a year early. This is the year that I think Aldine Davis has a chance to break through and maybe even get challenged for that number 2 spot behind Westfield. But so if you're asking me right now, I think your 4 playoff teams, I go Westfield, Nimitz, Davis, and Decaney, 1 through 4. I think Spring, they Coach Singleton just left. They don't have a head coach at the moment. They've got a lot of guys to replace after making the playoffs last year. Ike also has to. They have a new head coach, Padriak McGinnis, comes over from Houston Heights. take over the program at Ike. They just missed out on the playoffs last year. They were competitive at 5-5, but you're adjusting to a new coach. McGinnis does have head coaching experience. He was the head coach at Fort Bend Hightower several years ago, so he's been a head coach before, but this is a brand new experience being over there at Ike. So, and then you kind of rounding out the district. You've got, I think MacArthur will be better. I love Blake Ware. I think he does a heck of a job. I think they'll be better with 14 starters back. And then I think rounding it out, Aldine, Coach Ojeda's ball club. They improved a little bit last year, going 2-8, but they lost a lot. So I think Aldine kind of brings up the rear in this district.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. The Brown to Augustus connection is going to be something that I'm going to be looking forward to a lot in this district. Heck, I think Brown's been on our highlights since he was a sophomore. I mean, he was making plays as a sophomore. So that's going to be a fun team. Maybe they will challenge Westfield. And then they got to challenge 13-6A after that, and once they make the postseason. But we'll see what happens. I appreciate it. We will talk 15-6A next week. And Step, you have yourself a good week.
All right, we'll talk to you later.